You might find yourself catching colds more often than you used to, or maybe when you do get sick, it just seems to hang on for so much longer. You might feel a bit more vulnerable to every bug that goes around, wondering why your body doesn't seem to fight things off with the same speed and strength it once did. It can be frustrating, even a little worrying. When you notice these changes, it feels like your body isn't quite as resilient as it was years ago. But here's something important to understand. What you're experiencing isn't necessarily something going wrong. It's often a natural part of getting older. Just like other parts of your body change over time, your immune system changes too. It's not a secret in the sense of something hidden, but it's something many people aren't fully aware of how significantly it shifts as we age. This natural aging of the immune system has a name: immunosenescence. It means the system that protects you from illness gets older along with you. And those changes affect how well it works. Understanding exactly how your immune system changes after you pass that 65 mark can take away some of the mystery and the worry. It helps you understand why things might feel different and, more importantly, what you can do about it. Because while the system changes, you absolutely have power to support it. In this video, we're going to look at 6 specific things that happen to your immune system as you get older. We'll explore what each change means for your health and, most importantly, what simple, practical steps you can take to help your body stay as strong and protected as possible. Stick around to the end, because I'll share something that might truly surprise you about the power you hold over your own health as you age. So, let's dive right into the first big change that happens. One of the most significant things that occurs as we get older is a decrease in the production of brand new, fresh immune cells. Think of your immune system like an army constantly needing new recruits to stay strong and ready to fight off any invaders. A crucial training ground for a type of immune cell called T cells is an organ in your chest called the thymus. Now, when you were younger, your thymus was quite large and very active, churning out lots of these new T cells. T cells are incredibly important. They're like the strategists and specialized fighters of your immune army. They learn to recognize and destroy specific threats, whether that's a virus, bacteria, or even abnormal cells like cancer cells. They also help other immune cells do their jobs effectively. But here's the thing: starting around puberty, the thymus begins to shrink. And this process continues throughout your adult life. By the time you reach your mid-60s and beyond, the thymus is much smaller and far less active than it was when you were young. This means your body isn't producing as many brand new, naive T cells. Naive T cells are like raw recruits who haven't encountered any threats yet, making them ready to be trained to fight new invaders. When you have fewer of these fresh recruits, your immune system's ability to respond effectively to something it's never seen before is reduced. You might be relying more on the memory cells you developed earlier in life, which are great for fighting off things you've encountered before, but not so helpful for new, emerging threats. Now, this might sound a bit concerning, but it doesn't mean your immune system stops working or is completely defenseless. You still have a vast army of experienced cells. However, the reduction in new recruits does contribute to that feeling of maybe taking longer to bounce back or being more susceptible to novel viruses or infections. What can you do when your natural factory for new cells slows down? Well, while you can't magically make your thymus grow back, you can focus on supporting the health and function of the immune cells you do have. And you can help create the best possible environment for your body to generate as many new cells as it still can. One of the most powerful ways you can do this is through your lifestyle. Things that support overall cellular health also support immune cell health. This includes eating a diet rich in vitamins and minerals. Think plenty of colorful fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. These foods provide the building blocks and the fuel your immune cells need. Regular, moderate exercise is also incredibly beneficial. It helps circulate immune cells throughout your body, making them more effective at finding and fighting off pathogens. It also helps reduce stress, And chronic stress is known to suppress immune function. Getting enough quality sleep is another pillar. During sleep, your body repairs itself and produces key immune molecules. When you don't get enough sleep, your immune system isn't as effective. So, while the production of new cells might slow, optimizing these foundational healthy habits gives your existing cells the best chance to function well and helps your body make the most of the new cells it can still produce. Hand in hand with the decreased production of new cells is a change in the function of the immune cells you already have, particularly the T cells and another type of cell called B cells. Remember those T cells we talked about as we age. Not only are there fewer new ones, but the existing ones can become less effective at recognizing and responding to threats. They might not communicate as well with other immune cells, or they might not be as efficient at killing infected cells. Similarly, B cells, which are responsible for producing antibodies, those Y-shaped proteins that stick onto invaders and flag them for destruction, also change. They might not produce as many antibodies, and the antibodies they do produce might not be as potent or long-lasting. Think of it like this: your experienced soldiers are still on duty, but they might not be quite as sharp, as quick to react, or as good at remembering the most wanted list of pathogens compared to when they were younger. They might take a little longer to recognize a threat they've seen before, and their response might be a bit weaker. This is part of the reason why older adults can be more vulnerable to infections they've had before, or why illnesses might be more severe. It's not just about catching something new, it's also about how effectively your body handles pathogens it should, in theory, have defenses against. This reduced function and less robust response also plays a big role in how your body reacts to vaccines. Vaccines work by showing your immune system a harmless piece of a pathogen, so it can learn to recognize it and build memory cells and antibodies without you actually getting sick. Then, if you encounter the real pathogen later, your immune system recognizes it instantly and mounts a rapid, strong defense. However, because the T cells and B cells are less effective and produce fewer, less potent antibodies in older age, the response to a vaccine can be weaker and the protection might not last as long. This is why things like flu shots or pneumonia vaccines are so important for older adults. Even if they aren't 100% effective, any protection is better than none. And it's also why recommendations for boosters or new formulations might be different for older age groups. Supporting the function of your existing immune cells involves similar strategies to encouraging new cell production nutrition. Exercise, sleep, and stress management are key, but you can also be more proactive. For example, ensuring you're getting enough vitamin D is often recommended. As vitamin D plays a role in immune cell function, zinc is another nutrient important for immune health. These aren't miracle cures, but ensuring adequate levels through diet or supplements after talking to your doctor, of course, can help support your immune cells in doing their job. Avoiding things that actively harm immune cell function, like smoking or excessive alcohol consumption, becomes even more critical. It's about giving your body the best possible toolkit to work with, even if the tools themselves are a little older. Now, moving on from the specific cells themselves, let's talk about something that's gaining more attention in health research, especially as it relates to aging chronic low-grade inflammation. You're probably familiar with acute inflammation, that redness, swelling, heat, and pain you get when you cut yourself or twist your ankle. That's a healthy, necessary immune response to injury or infection. But as we age, many people develop what's called chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes referred to as inflammaging. This isn't the dramatic response to an injury. It's a persistent, subtle level of immune activation throughout the body, often without a specific infection or injury to fight off. Think of your immune system as being on constant low alert instead of only getting activated when there's a real emergency. This constant state of readiness might sound good, but it actually wears down the system over time and can contribute to damage in various tissues and organs. This chronic inflammation is strongly linked to many age-related conditions, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. So, it's not just about fighting off infections. Managing this underlying inflammation is crucial for overall health and longevity as you age. Why does this happen? It's likely a combination of factors: the accumulation of cellular damage over a lifetime, changes in the gut microbiome, which we'll touch on next, increased body fat, especially around the middle, and potentially reduced ability of the body to properly turn off the inflammatory response once it's started. The good news is that you have considerable influence over this chronic inflammation. Diet is incredibly powerful here. Focusing on an anti-inflammatory diet means emphasizing foods that help calm down this low-grade fire and reducing foods that tend to fuel it. Think vibrant fruits and vegetables, fatty fish rich in omega-3s like salmon or mackerel, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and whole grains. These foods provide antioxidants and other compounds that help regulate inflammation. On the flip side, foods high in refined sugars, unhealthy fats like trans fats, and excessive saturated fats, and processed meats can contribute to inflammation. Reducing these can make a real difference. Regular physical activity is also a potent anti-inflammatory. Exercise helps reduce inflammatory markers in the body. Managing chronic stress and getting enough sleep are also vital, as both stress and sleep deprivation can increase inflammation. Essentially, many of the healthy habits we discussed earlier for supporting immune cell function also work to help dampen this chronic low-grade inflammation. It's about creating an internal environment that's calm and balanced, rather than constantly agitated. Now, let's talk about your gut. You might mostly think of your gut in terms of digestion, but it's actually a major player in your immune system. A huge proportion of your immune cells reside in your gut lining, and the trillions of bacteria and other microbes living in your digestive tract, collectively known as the gut microbiome, have a profound impact on your immune health. They help train your immune system, produce helpful compounds, and act as a barrier against pathogens. As we age, the composition and diversity of the gut microbiome can change. Often, there's a decrease in the variety of beneficial bacteria and potentially an increase in less beneficial or even harmful microbes. These changes can be influenced by diet, medications like antibiotics or proton pump inhibitors, reduced physical activity, and other age-related factors. When the balance shifts, it can affect the immune cells in the gut, potentially leading to increased inflammation tying back to inflammaging, and a reduced ability of the gut immune system to function optimally. This can impact not only digestive health, but also overall immune responses throughout the body. A less healthy gut microbiome can mean your immune system receives less beneficial training and support from its microbial partners. Supporting a healthy gut microbiome is another area where you have significant control. Diet is once again the cornerstone. Eating a diverse diet rich in fiber is crucial. As fiber acts as food for beneficial gut bacteria, this means plenty of fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Fermented foods like yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi can introduce beneficial bacteria into your gut probiotics, while foods rich in certain fibers called prebiotics like garlic, onions, leeks, bananas, and oats feed the bacteria already there. Maintaining good hydration is also important for gut health. If you've had to take antibiotics, focusing on replenishing your gut bacteria afterward can be particularly helpful. It's about nurturing this complex ecosystem in your gut, recognizing that a healthy gut is a healthy immune system. Another change you might notice as you get older relates to wound healing and recovery from illness. When you're young, a cut or scrape heals relatively quickly, and you bounce back from a cold or flu pretty fast. As we age, these processes can slow down. This is partly due to changes in the immune system's role in repair and resolution. Immune cells aren't just about fighting off invaders. They're also involved in cleaning up damaged tissue, stimulating repair processes, and coordinating the healing response. With immunosenescence and chronic low-grade inflammation, the efficiency of these repair mechanisms can decline. Immune cells might arrive more slowly at the site of injury or infection, be less effective at clearing debris, and the signals they send to stimulate tissue regeneration might be weaker. This can mean wounds take longer to close, are more prone to infection during the healing process, and recovery from illnesses, even minor ones, can be more protracted. You might feel fatigued for longer after a bout of sickness, or a simple cut might seem to take forever to heal. Supporting your body's healing and recovery processes ties into all the previous points. Good nutrition is vital for providing the building blocks for repair. Adequate protein is particularly important, and vitamins like C and zinc play key roles in wound healing. Managing blood sugar levels, if you have diabetes, is also critical, as high blood sugar can significantly impair healing. Good circulation, supported by exercise, helps immune cells and nutrients get where they need to go. And simply being patient and giving your body the rest it needs when recovering from illness is important. Trying to push through too quickly can hinder the full resolution of the immune response and repair processes. It's about recognizing that your body might need a little more time and providing it with the best possible support during these periods. Finally, bringing some of these points together. These cumulative changes in the immune system, fewer new cells, less effective existing cells, chronic inflammation, gut shifts, and slower repair, naturally lead to an increased susceptibility to infections overall and, as we mentioned earlier, a reduced effectiveness of vaccinations. This isn't meant to be discouraging, but simply to explain why you might experience these things more as you get older. Your primary defenses aren't quite as robust. Your response time might be a bit slower, and your body's ability to build strong, lasting immunity from a single exposure or vaccine dose can be diminished. This is why preventative measures and early intervention become even more important in older age. Simple things like diligent hand washing, avoiding close contact with people who are sick, and maintaining good hygiene can make a bigger difference when your internal defense system isn't as strong. Staying current on recommended vaccinations, like the flu shot every year, pneumonia vaccines, shingles vaccine, and updated COVID-19 vaccines is absolutely crucial. Even if they aren't 100% effective, while the immune response might be weaker than in a younger person, vaccines still significantly reduce your risk of severe illness, hospitalization, and death from these diseases. Think of it as giving your somewhat older immune army a crucial heads up and some specialized training. They might not be as fast, but they'll still be much better prepared than if they had to face the invader completely cold. Managing any existing chronic health conditions, like diabetes, heart disease, or kidney disease, is also vital for supporting your immune system. These conditions can put extra strain on the body and affect immune function. Working closely with your doctor to keep them well controlled helps free up your immune system to focus on fighting off infections rather than dealing with underlying inflammation or organ dysfunction. It's all interconnected. Your immune system doesn't operate in isolation. Its effectiveness is deeply tied to your overall health status. So, we've covered the 6 key things that happen to your immune system after age 65, the slowing down of new cell production, the reduced function of existing cells, the rise of chronic low-grade inflammation, changes in the gut microbiome, slower healing and recovery, and an increased susceptibility to infections with less robust vaccine responses. It might sound like a lot of challenges. And yes, these are natural shifts that occur with age. But remember that something I promised to share that might surprise you. Here it is while these changes are happening. To your immune system, you are not powerless. In fact, you have significant agency in supporting it. The surprising truth is that while you can't reverse the calendar on your immune system, the simple, consistent choices you make every day have a profound impact. The power lies in embracing a healthy lifestyle not as a chore, but as an act of self-care that directly fuels your body's ability to protect itself. Eating well, staying active, getting enough sleep, managing stress. These aren't just general health tips. They are specific, actionable strategies that directly support your aging immune system in the face of these changes. Think of it as giving your experienced immune army the best possible living conditions, resources, and occasional tune-ups, while they might not be as spry as the new recruits of youth. A well-supported, well-nourished, and well-rested immune system at 65 and beyond can still be incredibly effective. It's about stacking the odds in your favor, minimizing unnecessary strain, and providing the building blocks your body needs to keep its defenses as strong as possible. Remember, these changes are normal, but they don't have to dictate your health destiny. By understanding what's happening, you can make informed choices to support your body. Focus on progress, not perfection. Every healthy meal, every walk, every good night's sleep is a victory for your immune health. Don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about how these changes might affect you personally and what specific steps, including vaccinations and managing chronic conditions, are right for you. Your immune system is a marvel, constantly working behind the scenes to keep you healthy. As it ages alongside you, it needs a little extra care and support. By giving it that support, you're investing in your continued health, independence, and ability to enjoy life to the fullest. I hope this look at how your immune system changes has been helpful and empowering. It's a complex topic, but understanding the basics can make a real difference. What was the most surprising thing you learned today? Or what's one healthy habit you already practice that you now see is supporting your immune system? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We share lots of information here to help you live your healthiest, happiest life at every age. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you have the power to make a difference in your health, and it's never too late to start. Keep taking care of yourself, keep learning, and keep living your best life at every age.